Hey, what's up guys? Today's video we're gonna rank every single card after the new balance change. There's gonna be a ton of change and I'm so excited to do that. Please let me know in the comment section which ranking you guys want to see next. And also if you agree with me and also disagree with me, please give me all the hate in the comment section if I put Wizard in F tier. As you guys can see, like 6 tiers. S is the best, F is the worst. So Wizard example is one of the worst tier at example. If you guys don't want to miss any videos in the future, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also using critical mods, highly appreciate. I would say, let's go. Let's jump directly into that. Basically, it's going to be top ladder esports pro perspective. So Wizard won't be in S tier, guys. It will be in D tier. I don't really want to talk too much about the cards, but Wizard isn't too great. I'm just going for Expo. I think Expo is C tier. Expo was better already. It's not like a dead card, but I don't really think it's going to be. It's not that strong, right? It's not that strong. Zap would say similar level. A ton of usage, but they're better spells. They're better 2 elixir spells in the game currently. Zappies, I feel like B really depends on the matchup. If your opponent doesn't have Fireball, there's a ton of lightnings right now with the Archer Queen. Zappies are so good. Battle Healer. D tier, Battle Healer is really annoying to face in E-Golem decks, but honestly, generally not a really great card. Battle Ram got a buff, still D tier.
Things have been improved.
I mean, he got a buff, but I think it was a wrong buff. Like, Battle Ram still doesn't really connect to the tower, so I don't really think it was the smartest change they ever did. Bomb Tower, I would say, hello? Sir, it's going to be C tier. It's a solid building, not the best building, but not the worst building by far. So, Bomber, B tier for 2 elixir. I mean, he got enough viral back. Still really solid. Bowler, C tier. It's okay in some decks, bad in other decks. Against Prince, it's horrible. Against decks like Ebabs, or like Bowler, against Ram Rider, against Battle Ram, he's so good. Cannon, I would say D tier. Not the worst tier, but honestly not a really good card. Cannon card, I would say A tier. One of the best cards in Clash. I don't really think he deserves to be in S tier. Not yet at least. Going with Clone, C tier. I think C tier is like the perfect example for being a matchup dependent card. Dark Prince, B tier. The splash is really great. Also the shield makes it like way better against lightning. Overall good card. Dark Goblin got a buff. I would say B tier. You kind of recognize the damage buff against any type of beatdown decks, against Dark Goblin, nice. Against Golem, against Lava ones, you kind of recognize it. I think it's overall solid card in bait decks especially, but also in some graveyard variation, he works great. Archers, C tier. I mean, Archers aren't really working in bait decks, and I also feel like, because Expo isn't that great right now, Archers are also not that great. Earthquake, B tier. Solid spell. I mean, in some matchups you automatically win. If you face like Cannon, if you face like Expo, but in some other matchups, if you face a golden deck, Earthquake doesn't do much. So, Electro Dragon. I honestly think Electro Dragon is one of the worst cards right now in Clash Royale. Mega Minion, Lightning. Lightning Matter generally is so bad for any type of Electro Dragons. Electro Giant, C tier. It's good, depends on the matchup. So, Electro Spirit, B tier. It's really solid. Electro Wizard, I would say it's going to be B tier. I mean, they're not really like, cannot talk too much. It's always solid cards. Ebab, C tier. Pump, F tier. Pump is one of the worst cards in Clash Royale. I wouldn't recommend you using that even in Three Musketeers deck. There's some decks, sometimes they're working, but Pump, besides in Rage mode, not really great. Elixir Golem, D tier. D minus, I would say. It's not a good card right now. It's not a good card. Executioner got a buff. I would say the buff pull in C tier. In some decks, like, I mean, it's still in the same decks that he was before, but the decks are kind of better. Hog Exinado, Loon Exinado. He's okay. Fire Spirit got a nerf once again, still for just 1 elixir. It's okay, B tier. Arrows, B tier. I really like Arrows right now in the meta. Against any type of Archer deck, Dark Goblin, Rascals, they're all back, and Arrows is gonna clean them up. So, Fireball, A tier, most likely one of the most consistent big spells for a long time. Firecracker, B tier, even if arrows are meta, you can just outcycle them. Fisherman, B tier. I feel like Fisherman is underrated. It's like so flexible. You can use it in every single deck. It works so great. Flying Machine, I would say B tier. I just hate playing against Flying Machine. Flying Machine Zappies combo is really great. Freeze, C tier. Like kind of like Bowler. Some matchups great. Some you need a big spell. Furnace, D tier, it's, I would say F tier. Furnace is one of the, okay, D tier. Not F tier would be a bit too much. I think it's not a good card, especially after another nerf, which I don't really think.
He's in a bad mood.
I know your opinion, guys. Spawners are annoying, yes, but spawners are not. But we're not OP. Giant, C tier, aber below C tier. I mean, I don't really want to put the same level as E-Golem, because there's still Giant Graveyard, there's some Giant Double Prince, but honestly, Giant itself as a win condition alone, like Giant without Miner, Giant without Graveyard, is not really great. Giant Skeleton, I would say D tier is just not a good card right now. The death damage isn't as great as it used to be anymore. That was kind of how the card works. So, but I kind of tried to change the card into like a defensive card with the damage. But just like you want the Giant Skeleton to die, right? It's less frustrating right now. I'm not really that complaining about it. Snowball, A tier, so good. Goblin Bowl, B tier, kind of making a comeback with bait, kind of being back with Dark Goblin Rascal buff. Baby Doing, B tier, it's just so solid, and I'm always telling you guys, Baby Doing is underrated. Goblin Cage got a small nerf still. I don't really recognize the nerf, do you? Goblin Drill, C tier, solid. Pressure if your opponent doesn't really have a Valkyrie or Dark Prince in the deck, which not really often happens. You're struggling. Goblin Gang, C tier, it's okay. Goblin Giant, C tier. Like, I put all the solid cards in C tier, which you can play. So, Goblin Heart, I would put also in D tier. Isn't a really good card right now. Isn't a really good card. Goblins, also D tier. Golem, C tier. Oh, honestly, not that great right now. Graveyard, I would even say it's A tier right now. Grave is A tier also with the Mother Witch buff. Wait
a minute!
It's really solid. Like, you can even play this deck. Like, Cannon Card, Fireball, Snowball, Graveyard. Looks like a normal deck, right? Guards, B tier, good. Heal Spirit, C tier. Oh, I remember when Heal Spirit was broken. That was a great time. Balloon. Yeah, I mean, we have Bowler, Freeze, Balloon. Perfect. So, Hog Rider, just good. It's just solid, especially with Firecracker. Hunter, honestly, not that great right now because of Archer Queen just shreds Hunter. Ice Golem C tier. I remember when Ice Golem was OP. Ice Golem got a nerf back then. That's kind of crazy to think about it. Ice Bird, kind of similar to Ice Golem right now. Ice Wizard got a buff. Yes, B tier. I think Ice Wizard is good, especially if the Queen gets another nerf. I feel like, or like a nerf. Oh yeah, another nerf. She got a nerf already. I feel like Ice Wizard could make a comeback. Like the slow effect against A type of bait decks really help, especially being lockbait, or like lockbait being more in a matter. Infinity, B tier, just so good. Inferno Tower, C tier, matchup dependent. Knight. Honestly, I think Knight needs a small buff. If you compare Knight with Valkyrie and Dark Prince, Knight is so bad. I think like every mid laner player, if you're a mid laner player, I always tell you guys, please play Valkyrie against all the witches. Lava is a really solid win condition right now. Lightning, I would say Lightning A. I would say Lightning not A tier because people are really hard countering Lightning, and it's easier to hard counter Lightning than hard counter Fireball. Like, because Fireball, even if you face Arch Queen, even if you face like Electrodrain, still Fireball does something against you. If you play Fireball bait, you play Lightning, you automatically lost the game. So Bandit, just really solid. I mean, currently the bug is going on. Lumberjack C tier. Magic Archer B tier is good. Megaman also B tier. I feel like people are sleeping on Megaman. Miner A tier. I wouldn't say it's S tier right now, but Miner is A tier. Mini Pekka, I would say it's C tier. It's okay card. Minion Horde is just bad. It's just not a good card, especially with everything being more in the meta. Minions better for free elixir. Okay, shouldn't have been arrows here. Mirror can be good. It can be good in a ton of situations, like my video where like play Goblin Ball plus Mirror. I think did I? I think I did on a German channel. I don't really know. But like sometimes I'm using Mirror. It works sometimes, yes, but it's not really consistent. I would love to see a Mirror buff. Please let me know in the comment section how you would buff Mirror. So Mortar, one of the best buildings by far. Barbarian Bull B tier. It's okay. Mother Witch B tier. Like, you kind of like Barbarian Bull, Mega Minion, Musketeer, Electruiser. They're way better against Mother Witch right now. Like, even Poison Spell. Like, she dies sooner. Like, if you play Graveyard Poison back then, 100 picks, no damage. Right now, a ton of damage and almost no picks. Musketeer gets outclassed by a ton of troops right now. Pekka, I would say I would put it in B tier. It's just an okay card, right? It's an okay card. Poison, I feel like Poison did a comeback with the Mother Witch nerf. Poison does a comeback. Poison did a comeback. Prince, I would say Prince is B tier. I just hate Prince. I just hate Prince. And also with the Bandit bug and the Golden Knight bug not resetting him. Prince is C tier, even with Lockbait being in the meta. I don't really think you need Princes in your deck. Rage. I put in D tier. It doesn't deserve to be F tier because there are some solid Sparky Rage players. Ram. B tier. Rare skills. Honestly, B tier. They are good. The only really thing why rare skills aren't higher is the Golden Knight. Golden Knight kind of hard counters it. So, Barpart. I would even say Barpart is F tier. Barpart is just one of the worst cards. Earthquake does so well. Baby Dragon, Cannon card, all of that. If you face if you play a Barpart and your opponent plays Cannon card in the back, it's horrible. Rocket. It's good, right? Mega Knight. I would say it's a really solid card right now. I would put it in A tier. Really, really good in like a ton of decks. Royal Delivery, I would say it's B tier. It's a really underrated card. It's really solid. Also, Royal Ghost. I would even say put Royal Ghost. This might be like a kind of surprising for you. I think Royal Ghost is one of the best cards in Clash. So I would put it in A tier because of the surprise factor and also the flexibility in a ton of decks. Royal Giant, B tier. It's good. It's not as OP as it used to be. It's okay. Royal Recruits, C tier. Matchup dependent. Some matchups, great, and some not doing something, not doing anything at all. Royal Hawks. B tier, I mean, people are starting to counter them, so they're not really that great anymore. I mean, they're still great, don't get me wrong, but they were better already. Skeleton Army, I feel like Skeleton Army is like the best example for being average. C tier, Skelly Barrel. B tier, because, no, it's also average. Skelly Drax, I think, yeah, if you don't have face Fireball, there's a ton of lightning. Skeletons get value. Skeletons is still an S tier card. One of the best cards in Clash Royale for just one elixir. So much potential, so much cycle value. Night Witch, C tier, not really great right now. Barbs, also not really good. I mean, they're just dying. They're dying so quick. Sparky, not really good in the meta, which is good. Happy for that. Spear Goblins, also with the Mother Witch nerf, I need to go on top. I just think Spear Goblins are really great. Tesla, B tier, great. Log is just, for me, the best spell in Clash Royale, so I need to go on top. Tesla's still good, by the way. Tesla's still a really good building. Three Musketeers, I go D. Tombstone, this is going to be interesting for you guys. It's going to be A tier. I feel like this is just a huge change again. Any type of ritual deck, just the defensive control you get also against the graveyard. If your opponent needs to go for Great Poison on top of that, it's just like getting so much value for just 3 elixir with the NATO combination in the ice, so that getting a King activation is just so cheap, so good. The only real disadvantage with the Tombstone is going to be the Earthquake, but still you can play it in the anti-Earthquake position, which is on top, on the opposite side. It's just great. Tornado, just so versatile, right? A tier. Valkyrie, I would say it's... Valkyrie, honestly, Valkyrie goes on top. Valkyrie needs a nerf. What? She defends everything. Valkyrie against Mega Knight, it's just like... She's so good. What happened? What happened to her? Wallbreaker, not really too good right now, but for 2 elixir, you don't do anything wrong with them, right? Witch, I would say C tier. I think there's some Witch decks right now, so she wouldn't deserve to be like next to the Princess and Giant Skeleton. Bats, kind of making a comeback right now because there's less Mother Witch, so Bats are going A tier. And now we're coming to 3 champions. For sure, 1 champion goes on top. It's going to be the Archqueen, one of the best cards in Clash Royale. Also, another champion which will go on top. The Golden Knight and the Skelly King will be at B tier, I think. I think it's a solid card, but it's really matchup dependent. Depends on the deck you're facing. If your opponent has Valkyrie, you can't really do anything. But this is like my final list. Please let me know in the comment section what you would change. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, please let me know all the feedback. I will look at every comment. I would say thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I would say I'm out. Thanks for watching and goodbye, guys.